Hi, this is Dr. Doris Van Kempenbright, and we're here today to talk about the MLA and some information and tips on how to use it for your assignments. This is brought to you by the Daniel A. Cannon Memorial Library, St. Leo University. For the first page of your paper, you will put your name, your professor's name, the class, and the date in the upper left-hand corner. You will also, in the upper right-hand corner in the header, put your last name followed by a space and the page numbers. If you need help doing that, we have more videos online on our YouTube channel, or you can ask us on chat for some help. Then place the title of the paper next, centered on the page. A paper that uses MLA formatting must use 12-point font, preferably Times New Roman. It will have 1-inch margins on all sides. The paragraphs will be indented 1/2 inch at the start of every paragraph, and all paragraphs will be double-spaced. Remember that after a sentence, you will leave 1 space after the period before the next sentence. Now let's talk a little bit about picking a topic and why it's important to pick one that you find interesting. If you are interested in the topic, you're more likely to spend more time researching it, finding good quality resources, discussing it with yourself, your friends, someone else, thinking about it, and keeping your audience in mind, writing for an academic audience. Your professor is going to want you to write in third person using they, the author, according to the name of the author. Please do not use first person, I, me, my friend, our, us. You are the observer, and you want to avoid using first person for an academic paper. Locating information and getting it cited is pretty simple when you use the library's catalog. For this seminar, I'm looking at social media and animal shelters, at least for the first half of this. Then you can refine it using the options on the left-hand side. Notice the red box. And if you get stuck, ask for help from the library. You can notice that chat is available in the lower right-hand corner. Once you have selected an article, you can click on Cite, select Modern Language Association, and then copy and paste the citation and place it inside of your Works Cited page in your paper. A sample social media post is on the left. It's short, it gets to the point, but it doesn't really meet the needs of a paper. You can cite a social media post, but you're not going to use that as your entire paper. Instead, you want to provide your audience with data and facts to back up your claims that using social media can increase the number of adoptions from a shelter. And of course, you want to argue why this is important. So, according to the ASPCA's shelter animal data count, dog and cat community intakes totaled 5.8 million animals in 2025. And now you provide some paraphrased information. Using social media to promote spaying and adoption could lower these numbers, as it provides better exposure to potential adopters. Why do I know that's a paraphrase? Well, you might think about that and say, well, yeah, using social media makes sense. But why? And of course, you need to back up your claims that it could with sources. What's the difference between paraphrasing and direct quotations? A direct quotation needs to use quotation marks, notice the purple, whereas a paraphrase does not need to use direct words from the source. Instead, you can think about it and put it in your own words. You will then help the reader by placing the sources you used in your works cited. Anything you refer to in your paper, anything that is not your own unique thoughts, needs to be cited. The in-text citation helps the reader know where you got the information from, and the Works Cited page gives enough information so that the reader can follow up and read the information for themselves if they wanted to. Your Works Cited page begins on a new page after the body of your paper. You will center the title Works Cited with no bolding or italicizing. Article titles are placed in quotation marks. Print books and ebooks are italicized. Now let's talk a little bit about generative AI in your paper and in your Works Cited. If you have permission from your faculty member to use generative AI and you understand the parameters around how you can use it, then keep some things in mind. AI should be used to help you think and to strengthen your writing. It should not be used to replace your thoughts, replace the resources and work you put into finding those resources, nor should it be used as a crutch. It's a tool. For this example, you were taking a literature class, and the book that the class is studying is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. One of the things your faculty member has asked you to locate or describe is the theme of nature in this particular book. You place into ChatGPT the prompt, describe the theme of nature in Jane Austen's Mansfield Park. ChatGPT says, it often mirrors the personalities or inner states of the characters. You will then cite, describe the theme if you use this in your paper. You are citing the tool that you used. You are citing the prompt that you used. You can paraphrase some of it. You can direct quote it. You might also want to go into more details now that ChatGPT has pointed out to you how nature is being used in mirroring the personalities or inner states of the characters. You might want to then give an example of that in your paper. But remember to cite the AI tool used. Also keep in mind that if you do not get permission, it can be considered plagiarism. It can result in academic penalties. It is best not to rely too heavily on it for information. It can hallucinate. It can provide false assumptions and conclusions about a research topic. And you really need to think carefully about how you're using it and why you're using it. And of course, get permission. The library is here for you to help you. Ask for help. We cannot give you permission to use AI. We can help you locate quality resources, think about those resources, and help you think about how to format your paper and do your citations. You can call us at 1-800-359-5945. You can email us. You can also chat with us online on our website and inside of your class under resources. We look forward to hearing from you, and we hope this has been helpful.